Hello, my name is Nicholas Gothard, Senior National Coordinator of Election Protection at the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under Law. Today, I'll be discussing the National Nonpartisan Election Protection Hotline, 866-R-VOTE, and its ability to help you exercise your right to vote this year. Formed in 1963 at the request of President John F. Kennedy to mobilize the nation's leading lawyers as agents of change in the civil rights movement, the Lawyers Committee has fought for racial justice and civil rights in communities across the country for over 60 years. For nearly 25 years, we've organized the National Election Protection Coalition, a nonpartisan coalition that protects, advances, and defends the right to vote. The Election Protection Hotline is one part of that effort. The Lawyers Committee administers the National Nonpartisan Election Protection Hotline, 866-R-VOTE. The hotline serves as a resource for every voter, no matter where they live or for whom they intend to vote. It is operational year-round, not just during election season, and is staffed by trained, nonpartisan legal volunteers. As a voter, you can call, text, or web chat the hotline. We constantly work to update the legal materials that power the hotline, meaning that we are providing reliable, up-to-date information, even if the law changes, the courts modify a deadline or voting hours, or if there are last-minute changes to things like polling places. We also work with trusted state organizations like RevUp Virginia to help problem-solve any issues that are called into the hotline and need follow-up or further action. We also work with knowledgeable partner organizations to provide assistance in English, Spanish, Arabic, and 9 Asian languages through their language lines. You can call one of the designated numbers here, or call 866-R-VOTE and be transferred to the correct line to receive in-language voting assistance. When you call 866-R-VOTE, you can trust that you're speaking with a trained professional. Our volunteers include lawyers, law students, paralegals, and other legal professionals. We leverage the power of pro bono legal work to directly help voters in communities across the country. No question is too small to contact the hotline about. From checking your voter registration to finding out what accessibility accommodations are available for you at the polling place, we are available to provide detailed and accurate assistance in all 50 states and DC. As an example, some of the common questions that people call us about are, how do I register to vote? And is my voter registration up to date? Can I vote by mail? And how do I request that mail ballot? Am I allowed to vote curbside? And how do I do so when I get to my polling place? Am I allowed to bring someone with me to assist me with voting? And is there an accessible voting machine at my polling place? The hotline is prepared to provide you with answers to these questions and more. The Election Protection Hotline also serves as a problem-solving resource for voters if things go wrong. We're available to work through problems with you, including if your mail ballot has not yet arrived in time, if your polling place is not accessible, if the poll workers are denying you your right to vote curbside, if your polling place doesn't open on time or closes early, or if you voted a provisional ballot and want to ensure that it's counted in the end. These are just a few of the problems that we're equipped to deal with. There are a lot of sources of voting information out there. The question you might be asking is why call the hotline? First, during peak election seasons, hotline volunteers are taking calls as early as 6 a.m. and as late as 11 p.m. We recognize that the need for voting information does not follow a 9-to-5 schedule. So even when your local election officials' offices are closed, we are open and accessible to voters. Additionally, we don't just provide you with the right information, we advocate on your behalf and problem solve alongside you to ensure that you are able to exercise your right to vote. We provide support through the entire spectrum of voting, from registration to ensuring your ballot is counted during the post-election period. Finally, you're connected with a real person and trusted and neutral information. It's not an AI chatbot. It's not random information you're finding on social media. For nearly 25 years, we've been successfully serving voters this way and have garnered trust as an effective voting resource in communities across the country. Now that you're preparing for the voting season ahead, it's time to consider some next steps. These are tasks that we recommend doing now that the Election Protection Hotline is open and available to assist you with. Number 1, check your registration and make sure that it's up to date. 2, if choosing to vote by mail, receive it as early as possible and request it today. 3, if you're voting in person, Find your early voting or election day polling place and see if it's changed. 4. Inform yourself about the accommodations available in Virginia for voters with disabilities. These are all questions that you can call 866-R-VOTE to receive answers for. On behalf of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law and Election Protection, thank you so much for taking this vital step in the voting process and preparing yourself. Through election season and beyond, we are available to support you and your community as you seek to vote. You can call or text 866-R-VOTE, that's 866-687-8683, with voting questions or problems, and you can learn more and review voting information at 866rvote.org.